Hey everyone, welcome back to Rise and Inspire. Today, I want to talk about something that all of us struggle with at some point in our lives: procrastination. We've all been there, putting things off, telling ourselves that we'll do it tomorrow. But the truth is, tomorrow never comes. But here's the good news: you can overcome procrastination, and today I want to share a story that might just inspire you to take that first step. Let me tell you about a young man named Jake. Jake was like many of us in his early 20s. He had big dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur. He wanted to start his own business, travel the world, and help others. But there was one thing standing in his way: procrastination. Every day, Jake told himself he would work on his business idea. He made plans, researched, and even had a notebook full of brilliant ideas. But when it came to actually taking action, well, that's where the problem began. He kept telling himself, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I need more time to prepare." His friends would remind him, "Jake, you've got this. Just take the first step." But no matter how many times they said it, he couldn't bring himself to do it. Instead, he'd scroll through social media, binge watch his favorite shows, or find some other distraction to avoid getting started. Jake wasn't lazy. He was the opposite. He was driven, smart, and capable. But like so many of us, he had fallen into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment. And as we all know, that moment never arrives. Then, one day, Jake had a conversation that changed everything. He was talking to his older brother, who had been running his own business for a few years. His brother asked him, "Jake, what's the one thing that's holding you back from getting started?" Jake paused. He didn't have an immediate answer. But after a few seconds, he realized it: fear. Fear of failing. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of not having all the answers. And, of course, the fear of being judged. His brother smiled and said, "Jake, everyone feels that way at the beginning. The key to overcoming procrastination is not about having all the answers. It's about taking that first step, no matter how small. You'll learn as you go, and you'll be surprised by how much you can achieve when you just start." So Jake took his brother's advice to heart. The very next day, instead of waiting for the perfect plan, he took that first step. He reached out to a potential business partner. He wrote down his first official business goal. He even told a few people about his idea, just to make it real. It wasn't easy. It felt uncomfortable at first. But something amazing happened. The moment he took that first step, the weight on his shoulders started to lift. That fear of failure started to fade, because he realized something important: failure wasn't the end. It was just a part of the journey. Over the next few months, Jake kept moving forward. Each day, he worked a little bit more on his business. Some days were harder than others, and there were times when he wanted to quit. But he learned to focus on progress, not perfection. And with that mindset, his business started to grow. By the time a year had passed, Jake had launched his first product, gained a small but loyal customer base, and learned more about business than he ever thought possible. And the most important thing: Jake had learned that the real secret to overcoming procrastination wasn't about waiting until everything was perfect. It was about taking that first step, and then another, and then another. So, what does Jake's story teach us? It teaches us that procrastination is often fueled by fear and the belief that we need to be fully prepared before we can start. But the truth is, preparation comes through action. When you take that first step, you learn, you grow, and you build momentum. And that's when the magic happens. If you're struggling with procrastination right now, let me tell you something: you are not alone. We all face it. But the key to overcoming it is simple: start. It doesn't have to be a big step. It can be something as small as making a phone call, writing one sentence, or setting one goal. Remember, every journey starts with a single step. And even if you don't know exactly where that step will lead, trust that it will get you closer to where you want to be. Now, I want to ask you, what's that one thing you've been putting off? What's that goal that's been sitting in the back of your mind, waiting for the perfect moment? Well, let me tell you, there's no perfect moment. The time is now. Take that first step today. It doesn't matter if it's small. It doesn't matter if you don't have everything figured out. What matters is that you're moving forward. Jake did it. You can do it too. And I'm here to remind you that your dreams are worth the effort. Procrastination doesn't have to control your life. You have the power to break free from it. All it takes is one simple action. So, what are you waiting for? Start today. Thanks for watching, and remember, take action now, because your future starts with what you do today. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if it helps, and share it with someone who needs that little push to get started. See you in the next video. Stay inspired, and go make it happen.